One. Hey everyone, welcome to Filmmaker Mike and the boys. Joining me tonight is Sequestered Jester,
Hey, everybody.
Kuya,
I'm back from the dead, boys. Hello, how you doing?
awesome, and Pinhead.
What's up?
Alrighty, and this is our WandaVision episode review of episodes 1 and 2. But before we get right into it, we want to remind everyone to please make sure to follow us on Instagram. The Filmmaker Mike and the boys Instagram is at FMANDTB. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Filmmaker Mike. And Jester, go ahead.
Yeah, you can follow me at SequesterJ on Twitter, the Sequester Jester on Instagram, and then I'm on TikTok too under the same names. Pinhead.
Just follow Filmmaker Mike and the boys. That's all you need to do. Don't follow me. I'm a bum.
But 2 beers, though.
Yeah, come on, 2 beers. That show's great.
We're working on that. We got 2 beers on Instagram. You can follow that, but we're working. We got some tweaks we need to do with that. So,
All right, Kuya.
Follow me, Old Man Jimmy, Jimi, on Instagram. I follow random people just because. Right now, there's a Instagram influencer I want to advertise because she has big tits.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So shout out to that girl. You know who she is because like she's the only one that I follow that has big tits. So except for Jester. So.
I'm really glad that's good to know. Now I know what I'm looking for.
There you go. Did you miss me, Jester? I'm back, baby.
I guess a little.
The old Kuya is back. I'm no longer like sick.
Sick and dying in the shadows, Kuya, like on the last video feed. Looked like
yeah, dude. I was dying, dude. I don't even want to have anybody.
Jester wanted you to bite the dust. He really did. He's like,
if you could fill in everyone because you weren't exactly clear about it last time. Though maybe some people got a hint, but maybe most didn't. So go ahead and let everyone know.
Well, last week was my flu game, I guess. In case you guys don't know, I was tested positive for COVID-19 on the 3rd of January, and I got sequestered, or I got pretty much sequestered.
Sequestered, huh? That's right.
Yeah, I got sequestered in like in another family's house for 10 days because everybody else in my family was COVID positive as well. It was after our trip to Colorado. That's when it happened. And yeah, we know who the culprits are and all that stuff. And as much as we want to reprimand and fucking crucify him and all that stuff,
Jeez.
It is what it is. Everybody is fine right now and recovering. I'm just glad I'm back home. I'm just glad that I'm. Yeah, yeah. It's very that COVID-19. Like when people say, "Oh, it's just a fucking flu," you haven't experienced COVID-19 yet, so you can go fuck yourself when you say that.
Well, I've heard both stories on multiple people having it.
When like when you lose your sense of smell for 3-4 days and your sense of taste for like up until now, um it's a little daunting. It's a little weird, you know. um I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I mean, maybe Jester, just for him to like figure out, to feel, how we feel here, because sometimes he's so heartless.
Well, would you put
times.
your big boy pants on for just a
No,
little
I'm just saying, but like right now everything is cool. I'm on the road to recovery. I just still have a little scratchy throat because of a cough, but nothing but hot teas and like Halls and a little bit of cough syrup will fix. But like I said, I don't wish it on my worst enemy, even Jester. I was just kidding about Jester getting COVID because this thing is nasty, guys. Please fucking wear a mask. You know, I know it violates your rights for 2 minutes, but fucking wear your mask and wash your goddamn hands.
And there's Pinhead's mask.
Yep. Thank you, Pinhead, for
You're
wearing your
welcome.
mask.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we're
Jester, thank you for wearing your mask forever. Fucking, you still look like a fucking cart heart ninja. I appreciate that. And you know, Mike already has antibodies because he's Kal-El, so he's fucking.
Oh, you're right.
You know, he's
Well,
Yeah.
hey,
fucking
now
COVID proof.
now that we mention it too, back in December, before a few 2 weeks before Christmas, I had to quarantine myself because I was exposed at work. So, but you know, fortunately, I just watched for symptoms for the next few days. Really loaded up on emergency and vitamin C,
Yep.
and just watched for any symptoms. And unfortunately, here in Nevada, again, you got to have symptoms to get a test. So I tried to go do the online question on CVS, but since I don't have any symptoms showing, I couldn't take a test to find out. So unfortunately, I was okay. I was really worried, of course, for Julie and the kids, but we were spared. And I was, you know, I always wear my mask, always wash my hands. So you can still take all the precautions, but somehow, you know, something can still happen. But hey, it's still better to be safe. And anyway, we are glad to have you back. In
Yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
glad to be here, man. Again, I told you guys before the recording, when I was quarantined, I felt like a goddamn prisoner. I didn't know what to do, and like I told you guys, and I sent a message saying I I can't make it because I'm still sick and all that stuff. But then like 10 minutes later, I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'll do it live, just because I just needed some sort of normalcy in my life, and
Right.
and that's the thing that kills you with the disease itself, is just because it stops everything that you want to do. Like as much as I wanted to go out and fucking go buy this and that, I can't. Like I was stuck at home. The only source of food I had was the food that we had in the fridge. And like as much as I wanted to go out and did all that stuff, it was impossible. So today, because everybody was feeling better, it was the first time in a while that we ordered out, and we ordered pizza and wings, and it was like I could barely taste the pizza.
Man,
but but the warm feeling of the pizza, the dough, and the meat and everything, just going in my mouth, and I was just like, "Yep, I'm there. I can taste it now, even though I couldn't." So hey, but one thing that I can taste though is Pepsi. It's kind of weird, right?
Are we sponsored by them? I didn't think so. Put that thing away.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just telling you something that like something positive that's happened to me, Chester. Why
yeah,
are you always
geez.
negative?
This guy over here.
Are
Are
we
you sponsored by the
sponsored?
mask you're wearing?
Like fucking. Like seriously, man. I'm just telling you like something good about like what is happening. And like I could have died with COVID, dude.
I know this
And
guy.
like,
This guy's
and then
just
it's like, oh, fucking you fucking spell sponsored by Pepsi. Calm down.
You should have said soda pop.
Sody pop?
No, I'm not from the Midwest. I can't say soda pop. I'm sorry. I say soft drinks.
Soft drinks.
Soft drinks.
Or in the Philippines, soft drinks.
Soft
Oh.
drinks.
Alrighty.
But yeah,
All
like
right,
we're here to
let's
talk about
do this.
we're here to talk about Elizabeth Olsen and her tits. I mean, her new show. And
So
let's go.
WandaVision finally debuted on Friday, and they dropped 2 episodes. So if I'm not mistaken, this is a 6-hour show. So the first episode, and there's no titles for each episode. It just said episode 1, 29 minutes, and then episode 2 is 36 minutes. And all it says here for episode 1 description: Wanda and Vision struggle to conceal their powers during dinner with Vision's boss and his wife. And then, of course, for episode 2, in an effort to fit in, Wanda and Vision perform a magic act in their community talent show. So it dropped at midnight, just like The Mandalorian. They dropped the episode right at midnight, and of course, it was trending on Twitter. Lots of people were already watching it. When I watched it on Friday night, I was pretty tired, but I still watched both episodes, and I just thought like, it was interesting. But then this morning, I watched it again, and I noticed a little bit more stuff. And I was taking notes the first time I watched it as well, but I was trying to watch it more than just than taking notes. But this morning when I was watching, I was really taking notes and I was paying attention to everything, and I noticed a lot more things. So yeah, this is the first Marvel Cinematic Universe show on Disney Plus. It's not the first. Of course, we've got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all these other Marvel shows before. But this is the big one that a lot of people have been waiting for, because we haven't gotten anything Marvel for what, a little over a year now. What was the last thing we got? Wasn't it Spider-Man? After Endgame was Spider-Man
Far From Home.
Yeah, so that was
Spider-Man. I feel so sad for Uncle Tony. Right, that's the one.
That's right. We got Far From Home, and then after that,
yeah, that was it, right? So yeah, it's been a pretty long drought as far as Marvel stuff, but hey, we're here now. So I wanted to start off with when the episode starts. Of course, episode 1. The show is in black and white, and it's in that traditional full screen format. It's like an old classic show that people would have seen in the 50s. Basically, the setting is the 50s.
Honeymooners.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys recognize the
Bewitched, Honeymooners?
Right.
Bewitched was the second episode. The first episode was more like Dick Van Dyke, I Love Lucy kind of thing.
Right.
There was some Bewitched elements in the first episode with her smashing the plate over his head.
Right.
Yep.
That was very Bewitched-esque. So that's why I say it's.
I gotcha.
There's just this great combination of Dick Van Dyke, Honeymooners, Bewitched, all in this. It's a hodgepodge, just all in this little cauldron, and it's. I can kind of understand where people are. As we'll get into it as we go down the line, but I can kind of understand why people might not like this, because you have to get into that mentality. We'll get into it as we go down, but that's what I got out of it. The Bewitched, Honeymooners, like you said, Jester, Dick Van Dyke. So
well, hold up. We're showing fans and people something from way back in the day, much like a movie that came out in December that was set in the 80s, and people don't like it. What are you talking about?
But that's see, and that's what I said. I think I predicted it, just like you've done predicting with Star Wars. I think I predicted that no one would show the same energy when this Marvel thing came out. I think I predicted this, but we'll go down that. We'll go down that road.
So we're set in the town of Westview, and just from everything from the dialogue, gee Willikers, and all these things that was said way back in the day, it's really there. It's pretty incredible how of course Disney money, it knows no bounds, so throw all the money that they need to make the show and make it look like the way it did.
We also get a little Pleasantville moment in this series too. That's another thing. There was very Pleasantville vibes that just leaped off the page, especially when you got toward the end. I think it was
of the first episode.
Yeah, and then it was just blatant, where they just went, okay, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So when the right at the beginning of the episode, we're in the kitchen, which is a pretty big ass kitchen, awkwardly huge kitchen, and they Wanda and Vision look at the calendar, and there's a heart on the date, and they're trying to figure out like what that means. I instantly thought, oh, it's their anniversary, but they couldn't even remember specifically. And when Vision goes to work, of course, but before he goes to work, he does a little quick switch on his face where his face turns to his human looking face, Paul Bettany's face, without the makeup and the prosthetics. And so when he goes to work, he asks his coworker, what does the company do? What do we sell? What do we make? Do we make anything? Do we sell anything? And then his coworker just tells him, well, ever since you've been here, productivity has gone up since you've arrived, pretty much.
And I will say, not to interrupt you, but I will say that gave off another show in that same vein, which was Twilight Zone. That gave very Twilight Zone. Like, I got chills right there, and I was like, okay, we're heading into Twilight Zone territory here. And as we go down further into the episode, especially toward the end, when we see what Vision does, and then we go past that, it really feels like Twilight Zone.
The second episode more so, I think.
Yeah,
too.
I was gonna say, yeah, the second episode. You're right, Jester. Like the second episode, even more so. But the president is set in the first episode.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. And so Vision calls Wanda when he remembers, because his boss, Mr. Hart, talks to him and tells him, he reminds him about the dinner tonight at his house. And that's what clicks into Vision's mind as the heart on the calendar, was that today was the day that his boss and his boss's wife would come over for dinner, and they would have a nice dinner and, talk. And so he calls Wanda on the phone. They have this conversation. She thinks, and by the way, at the same time, she's introduced to her neighbor, Agnes or Agatha, which I heard
Agnes.
Which I heard is a nod to a character, and she most likely will be the mentor of Wanda in the show. She's also a witch. She's also got some magic of sorts. Because I was watching a TikToker. Her name is oh my god, Taya Miller, a very famous cosplayer, and she made a TikTok explaining that. And there's even some hints that that character played by I think Han. I don't know. I can't remember her name.
Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Hahn. Thank you. Yeah.
Hahn.
Yeah. So she pretty much said, like, looks like she's going to be Wanda's mentor. And there's even subtle hints in the second episode as well. And so anyway, they're having a conversation about, how to make things better for your husband. And if it's your anniversary, how to spice things up. And so when Wanda and Vision have the phone call, Wanda thinks he's talking about, I got to make sure the wife is happy. And Wanda's saying, I got to make sure the husband's happy. So they're having a misunderstanding that, she thinks it's about the anniversary, but he's trying to tell her, like, we got to keep my boss happy because he's coming over for dinner. And so later on, and then we get a commercial break of the Toastmate 2000 by Stark Industries.
I'm sorry. That was my favorite part too. It's like, is your husband unhappy with you burning his toast? It's like, that's right, woman, get in the kitchen. Stay in there.
Wow.
Wow, Jester.
There you go. And now we're fucking canceled.
Jesus.
Thanks a lot, asshole.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Wow. And your wife listens to the show, right? Yeah. There you go.
I hope she Bobo blasts you with like Bobo blasters and shit, man.
Hey, she watched the episodes with me too. She thought they were pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
Do
yourself a favor and sleep on the couch for tonight.
Nah.
So yeah, in that Toastmate commercial, in that ad spot, when the lever is pushed down for the toast, you hear the repulsor blast of Tony Stark when it charging sound. It does that, and I was like, oh, but nah, Iron Man. Well, Iron Man's dead. Like,
it's made by Stark Industries. Though. That's why it sounded like that.
Well, that's his father.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just saying that it's the similarities that they're throwing in there.
Yeah, little Easter eggs, and so we see a red light on the toaster is the first hint of color in the show. And then of course when later on we come to back home, when Vision arrives, and his boss and his wife arrive, there's a whole misunderstanding, and of course Wanda is ready in a very back in the 50s sexy nightgown,
Yep.
which is still very it's very interesting to look back at a show set in those times. Well, back then it was like, that's very provocative, but it's very covered up. But now it's like, oh, there's nothing left, right? I mean, just look at Victoria's
No more
Secret.
mystery.
So yeah, she accidentally greets Vision's boss with a nightgown, and so she's shocked, and he's shocked, and so is the wife, who is what's her name from that '70s show?
Yeah, well, I don't know her actual name. I just know the character is Kitty in that '70s show. It's great to see her again because she cracks me up.
Yeah, she's great. She was great.
Yeah.
And so
I almost wanted his boss to be Red Foreman, just a little bit.
I think that would have taken out a lot of people. That would have been like, they would have stole that scene for sure.
Oh yeah.
So Vision plays it off. Vision plays it off as it's a Sokovian greeting, and because she's from Europe or whatever.
And then like the wife was like, "Oh, how exotic!"
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's just weird.
And of course, a lot of dinner, like since Wanda wasn't ready, all she had was like chocolate covered strawberries. She didn't have dinner and ready. So surprisingly, of course, her neighbor Agatha or Agnes like pops in, and I guess she made a call.
Yeah, she called her. Yeah, she called her.
Like she needed help. She needed help, and so she came in with some recipes and some stuff to get her ready. Meanwhile, Mr. Hart's wife wants to help back there, but Vision is distracting them, and he starts singing Yakety Yak because that's the song that he heard in the office.
The cringy moment.
Yeah,
there was a few of those.
Yeah, there was, but this was
Yeah.
Super Saiyan level cringy. Like
really, I didn't really get that. I thought it was funny.
I didn't, because the only reason why I didn't feel it was funny is because I've seen this in shows done better.
The Dick Van Dyke Show.
Like exactly, or Honeymooners, and I grew up with this with my grandparents, and I understand what they're doing, but the shows that they're trying to doppelgang and imitate are better than what they are doing, and then it just comes off just cringy.
Like a couple of hits where like it would be funny was, where he's like, oh, I don't, she's like, can I make you breakfast? And he's like, oh, I don't eat food. And then she's like, that explains why our fridge is empty. Like that was funny. The commercial of the, the woman burning her husband's toast, I thought was funny just because the times are different now. Things like that, you know what I mean?
That I agree with. I agree with, like, I understand that, like, them doing the commercials like that shit, I understand. And I think that they're amusing. They amuse me. I don't know if they're funny to me. They're funny, but they amuse me. But it's just those points where they do stuff like that, where like the yakety yak, and it's like, I get it. I know what you're doing, but it's cringe because I've seen, like I said prior, I've seen it in other shows where it was done.
Yeah.
It was done better because that was the show.
Right.
So it's just that part of it takes me out, and that's where I can see where people go, I don't know if I like this. We'll get it. As we go into the next episode, we'll get into the crybabies. But I'm talking about the people that might like be reserved. I'm not talking about the fucking crybabies. I'm talking about the people that might be reserved at the show and go, this is why I like DC in the first place. So,
I'm reserved in the fact that like I'm just waiting. Like I don't want to say anything right now. One thing I will say right off the bat is like I applaud Marvel for doing something different. I like.
So do I, and I'll leave it at that. I do too.
I'm thankful for the change and like a nice fresh idea, and I'm trying to figure out where it's going. but it's hard for me to watch a show like this with as much changes they've thrown in here. With I mean, granted they dropped 2 episodes this week, but then have to wait every week. I'm kind of like, nothing's pulling me back.
And that's where I agree. That's where I'm like, I'm in the same ballpark with you, Jester, because I'm where I'm at. I respect you guys for trying to do something different in your era, but then when we're going down the line, I just feel like I'm in Twilight Zone, and if I have to wait every week for a Twilight Zone, I'd just
rather
watch it on
Twilight Zone.
Netflix or watch it
Yeah.
on CBS All Access.
Yeah.
What I'm
Yep.
paying for. Like, if I'm gonna watch Twilight Zone, I'm not gonna wait another week. I'm gonna watch Twilight Zone. So
Gotcha.
they need to pull that shit back a little bit, just a
Mhm.
little bit. That's
Yeah,
all I
so-
ask.
So we get back to the dinner and lots of dinner hijinks with magic. It's pretty cool when she's trying to prepare dinner and she's using magic and she's trying to get everything together, but she's a mess as well. Everything's a mess. And when she just ends up making breakfast for dinner, which is like, hey, okay, that works, whatever.
How very European of us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
very European.
When they
Ironically, I had breakfast for dinner that same night that I was watching this episode. So
Hey, there you go.
there you go. So, and actually, I never really had breakfast for dinner until I moved here to the States. Like when I would hang out with friends and we'd be out, way
Steak and eggs,
here's
bitch.
steak and eggs, baby, at the casino. Steak and eggs, $6.
steak and eggs, pancakes,
Yeah,
Fuck yeah,
or like
man.
late
hash
night
browns,
Denny's.
like
Yeah. So I thought like that's pretty cool. So when they start having dinner, Mr. Hart and Mr. Hart's wife start asking questions. So where did you move from? When did you get married? Why no kids? All the questions that typical
Right
couples
away
get
though,
asked.
too, back to back.
Yeah, and
Yeah, and then like Wanda kind of sort of freaked out, or like just
Right.
she just stopped. She just stopped functioning.
yeah,
So
but
when
before
his boss started choking,
Yeah.
before that, Mr. Hart's like moved from where? Married when? Damn it, why? Like he says that, and when he
I want
says that,
the answer. I want the answer. Like,
yeah, he wants to like give it to me now. Like tell me why? What
why are
happened?
you here?
Yeah,
Like,
and then you can. Wanda already has that frozen like blank expression on her face. Even
'cause she didn't
at-
know
at
how
the
to
first
answer, so.
question. Yeah, she didn't know. She couldn't remember. And then he starts choking. He starts choking, and then it was kind of unsettling. Like the Mr. Hart's wife is just laughing like the whole time.
stop.
Stop it.
Yeah,
Stop it.
and then it
Stop it.
takes
Stop.
Wanda like forever. And I was like, Heimlich maneuver, or the Heimlich maneuver in the 50s. I
well,
can't remember when the Heimlich maneuver was introduced. I don't
but
think it was.
that's where you also start to see where this barrier cracks, because it's like that. It's like the broken record just
Yeah.
breaking, like when Milli Vanilli had their record broken and it was just girl, you know it's girl,
Girl,
you
you
know
know
it's
it's
girl,
girl,
you know it's girl, and they didn't know what to do. They were like, oh, what? It's this was a similar instance where
Right.
they're not gonna push it full forward, but we have an idea where this may be a little bit of a pre-recorded incident and it's broken, and she finally just like, Viz, save him.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
that's where the record stops being broken. But up to that point, every instance in that scene, from her repeating herself and him choking and everybody it was like a broken record going over and over and over again.
Which it makes
Right.
me think too, with how things ended there, is she in control? It seems like there are slight moments where Vision has no clue what where he's at, he has no idea of the reality maybe, but it seems like Wanda's in complete control.
Well, that would be an issue that I would agree with you, Jester, until we get to the second episode, and then we go, is she really in control?
But it pushed it further for me at the
I
end of
don't
that
know.
episode.
Not for me. Like I
Hmm.
felt like she was even in less control in the second episode.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, like it does because like again the backdrop of this particular show is what happened like mentally to Wanda when she saw Vision die and all the shit that happened during Endgame and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
this is basically her trying to rebuild her world, right? Her utopia in a sense.
I would assume. I mean, if
So
we're thinking that it takes place after the fact.
yeah, and for me, like like when I was watching it, like intently, I was just thinking of it as like her trying to be like, oh, like I'm gonna be the perfect wife, and Vision's gonna be the perfect husband. He's gonna have the perfect job. We're gonna have perfect neighbors. We're gonna have like all of these adventures and stuff together and all that good
I
goodness,
think
right?
that's her.
That's in her head, and
Yeah,
then
that's her idealized. Like that's her perfect world. Like
yep, and then the curveballs when the boss started fucking like grilling her of all these random questions, and like him fucking choking, and like like it's just like wait, this is like this is just a little way too random for us, that's why she said like Biz, go help him.
Hmm.
And
yeah,
that was the kind of like for me it was a good turnaround. I just finished with episode 2, and like I see the same exact thing at the very end of episode 2. She fucking rewound the whole thing. So
Yeah.
which
yeah,
is
that's why I'm saying like that's why I'm like
yeah.
it's really scatterbrained, and I get what they're doing with that. I'm glad that they're doing that, but it just I think she might feel she has control,
Mhm.
but I don't think she has as much control as she
Yeah,
thinks she.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you
We're
with what you said. That
like I was talking to Mike about at work, and I'll say it here. It has that first Black Ops, the very, very, very first Call of Duty Black Ops vibes, where you feel like you're in control, but you're not because of the MK Ultra brainwashing.
yeah.
And that's where I'll leave it at, because that right off the bat, that's like, I may be wrong, but I think we're going down that similar path of MK Ultra brainwashing. And if that's the case, then I am correct. She has she has far less control than she thinks she has
Yeah, because
in
she
reality
yeah.
and out of reality.
Yeah, because in
So
her mindset she's in total control of that world, right? Because like she can do
exactly,
all the
and
things
that's
she
why
wants.
I
Yeah.
get these Black Ops 1 vibes where I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
there's a sinister purpose, and we see it again in the second episode as we will go forward. We see it again. There is a sinister purpose behind this,
I
and
almost
she
think
is not in control. There's no way she's in control. Otherwise, this show makes no fucking sense then if she was in control.
I almost think that she has the reality stone, or somebody does, and they're using it here.
If that was the case, I don't think she does.
Hmm.
If she does, it if
Well,
we were going down, that's that. See, we're getting into other implications here, and if that
Yeah.
was the case, we'll get in. Then we need to see that further. But if that was the case, either way, she's not in control, because
Yeah.
there's no way that if she's in control of that, then that means it's overpowering her, because she would not be able to. There's no way that you can tell me that she's in control, and then that there's she can this reality is real. Like
Mhm.
there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah. Like in the comic
Like
books.
but that's implications down the road. Maybe we're talking about right now, and from what I'm seeing right now, I don't get that. I don't get that there's a stone, or I really get that there's someone mind fucking her right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I
In it,
really get that, because there's bits and pieces where she's getting what she wants, and then she's getting what she doesn't want. She's getting where she's in control, and she's getting where she's. That's why I get this MK Ultra. Someone's mind fucking her right now.
Mhm.
So,
Which brings me to ask Kuya that symbol that we constantly see. Do you recognize that from the comics?
What symbol are we talking about?
The
I'm
sword.
sorry.
The sword and then the circle. It's at the very end of the first episode. He closes a notebook, and then it's on the front of the notebook. And then the second episode, it's on the
Helicopter
little
toy.
like helicopter toy. And then
There's a group called Sword, which handles the people from because there's a shield, right?
Yeah.
And there's the one that protects the shield or the people from within within the bad guys from within the earth. And then Sword is the one that's from out of space, like that like people that are so basically what I'm thinking, this might not have anything to do with the comic books at all, but
and
but
hold
the
on
but the
before you go
go
on,
ahead, go ahead.
not to cut you off because you're going into comic book territory. All the stuff that I just said right now was coming off of someone who is a normie off of this. So go ahead,
um
Kuya.
Pinhead, you're pretty fucking close with what your assessment is in a sense, just because of the fact that um the retcon for Scarlet Witch was before back in the day. She does hex magic, all that stuff, right? And then they changed her into one of the most powerful mutants in the world, as a reality warper. So basically, her magic is like she changes realities of whatever she's around in. One of the strongest storylines in Marvel history, and to this day still fucking like blows my mind, is the House of M, when her and Magneto fucking had a falling out.
AKA Daddy. That's Daddy in the comic.
in a sense, yeah, in a sense, they kind of daddy, but then like Magneto said, I never was your father. Like I'm not type of just the abuse, all the verbal stuff that she received from Magneto from back in the day
So is she
to
an Omega
Pietro.
level mutant?
Um, she's a reality warper. She is an Omega. If I'm not mistaken, she is one of the Omegas. She's not
Okay.
beyond Omega because she can't do universal changes in reality. It's just within her realm. So
I just wanted to know for my understanding, but
yeah.
okay.
So basically, her in at the end of that story, she just went mental. Like her mental capacity was broken, and she was shattered. As all, her children were dead, and she was blaming everybody. And then most of it, she was blaming Magneto and the mutants. So she uttered the fucking famous words, "No more mutants." So 98% of mutants in Marvel fucking just disappeared,
Which,
just like that.
which I wanted to bring up real quick. At the end of this, she could easily just say mutants, and there's the X-Men and all the mutants.
Yep.
Ah!
yeah,
And
Yep.
then,
I mean that's the one thing that I can think of that can bring the mutants into the MCU, just because of these things that are happening, along with uh, Doctor Strange, and all the different worlds and all that stuff, right? And
exactly.
so
Right.
basically we're breaking some sort of wall to see like the reality of things, that there are like superpowered beings everywhere in the country, and this is like this is the norm. It's not a fucking occurrent or weird occurrence that a superpowered being from outer spaces, all that stuff. But yeah, right now, like I said, it's gearing up from the way I'm seeing this show unfold. It looks like they're trying to push like Wanda to the breaking point. Um, the people that are monitoring, or whoever they could be part of Sword. They could be part of another like group, or whatever. The Illuminati is still out there, just because of the fact that Doctor Strange is still involved, as well as Professor X, Mr. Fantastic. Um, Iron Man is dead, but whatever. Who gives a shit?
Because
So
going
they
for
go ahead.
the- going for the like I said, the normies. Speaking for the normies, because isn't this supposed to be this series and Falcon and Winter Soldier? Isn't this supposed to have some, not maybe not heavy, but some kind of implications going forward in the MCU, for the
Yeah,
movies
they
going
from
forward?
Yeah,
what they said, the
Because
majority of
this
the
isn't
shows.
supposed to be just nothing, all for nothing, correct?
Yeah, the majority of the shows that are going to be featured on Disney Plus, WandaVision, Loki, Winter Soldier, and the Falcon. Um, what was the other show? Fucking. Anyways, all of them are going to be tied into bringing in the newer characters in the MCU. So
Hmm.
they're going to tie it in with the movies as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and then
So
as far as WandaVision, this is supposed to connect to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness
yep.
because Wanda will be in that movie.
And
So
that's why I feel I'm excited for this movie, and everybody knows why, but that's why I feel there's a very MK Ultra brainwashing,
Yeah.
not maybe not full blown, but there's some kind of hit there with that storyline. I don't know how to work out, but there's some very brainwashing esque
Yeah.
issues in this thing, and that's where I'm trying to navigate my way through that, because I'm interested to see how that will focus into the multiverse of madness.
They depowered the shit out of one of Scarlet Witch in the MCU.
Yeah,
They
and that's
complete
what I've been like. I even knew that. I've been told that by many people, many of my comic book friends who have they've like, this is just, they're
because
not happy with it because of that same reason. So
like you remember in Endgame when they were when Thanos' children were like, "Where's the witch? Where's the witch?" Because they know that she's the bigger threat than any other fucking thing that they have in their arsenal.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's the reason why, like, they were looking for her. That's the reason why they wanted to break her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's the strategy that they did. And it's kind of easy, like, again, like when because she was so attached to Vision that, like,
but
she would do anything she could to protect Vision, and no matter what. And then even when Thanos killed Vision, like, she went fucking nuts. And
but
it,
we get that. See, this is what just enrages me, because we get that in Age of Ultron, correct? When they're introduced, where we get their powers,
mhm.
and now it's just thrown out. Like, people don't complain about they bitch and moan about DC, and oh well, DC DC does all this bullshit, but when Marvel does it, no one breaks a sweat. They just go,
same with the accent. The accent got thrown out for Age of
exactly, the
Ultron,
accent,
which I do.
but
Which, by the way, she did have a very sexy ass European accent when
She did.
when she first came out.
So I
it's
And
want to
just
I was
mention.
perfectly fine with it.
So last week
it's just the
on
fact that they gloss over it, and it pisses me off when you gloss over and you go, huh, ho hum, who cares? But when DC
Marvel,
does it, you go,
people love it.
oh, they're garbage. Like, that's a problem.
So I want to mention last week on Disney Plus, they dropped, it's not really a series, but I guess it's going to be a series. It's called Marvel Studios Legends.
Who cares?
So it's 7 minute. I think the first one is 7 minutes. And it's just basically recaps of the character of Wanda. And then the second one is Vision. It's all just like clips from start to like end of what we've seen so far in the movies. And it's just like, that's lame. You couldn't. You could have thrown
Exactly. It's
You could have thrown
garbage.
interviews with Elizabeth Olsen or Paul Bettany. You could have thrown like some history with a character from the comics, and not just throw me the clips. Like I've seen all of this. Like it was a waste of time. Like I was like, okay, like wow. But no one's gonna whine about this, of course, because it's awesome. It's the clips. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna do that for Winter Soldier and Falcon and the Winter Soldier with Bucky, But like instead of showing me just clips that I've already seen, that I also own on physical media, on Blu-ray and DVD, like give me some stuff that I haven't seen about the characters. Throw me some comics.
Exactly.
Give me those audition
meanwhile,
tests, the screen tests.
Exactly. Meanwhile, when Zack Snyder actually shows some actual new footage, people go,
It's gonna suck.
It's garbage. It's cool, but it's gonna be garbage anyway because he's a pussy. Like, stop doing that. Like, celebrate everything, please. Celebrate everything, because when Marvel wins, DC wins.
Everyone
when
wins.
DC wins, Marvel wins. And these toxic fanboys. Oh well, he's garbage. Like, his best film was 300. Wrong, but his best film was 300, and past that he peaked.
Yeah.
So
stop doing that shit. Just stop doing it.
Yeah, so I want to go back to right at the end, after the dinner, after the incident, they pretty much say, "Oh, look at the time, we gotta go." So they go and Mr. Hart's wife does the Sokovian like greeting and covers Wanda. I thought that was funny.
I felt like that was improv almost. It seemed
so
like
did
it.
I. So did I.
Because like it surprised Elizabeth, didn't it? Like
well, just based off her reaction.
Yeah,
exactly.
she was just like, "Oh my god,
yeah, it was genuine."
It was funny.
Yeah, and the same thing with the lobster as the door knocker. I automatically assumed that too when she brought that up.
Yeah. And so when they leave, as they leave, Mr. Hart tells Vision, "Oh, we're gonna talk about that promotion." And then you hear like we forgot to mention, like you hear the audience like laughter, the cheering, the clapping all throughout. So you hear the audience cheer, like the track in that. And then Wanda and Vision have a seat on the couch, and they just talk about like, well, I guess this could be our anniversary date, and then our song would be Yakety Yak. Everything that happened throughout the day, like kind of like told their story, which I thought was a neat way to wrap it up because they didn't have answers for that. So the next time someone asked them, they can answer it. And so he's holding a remote. Vision is holding like a clicker of some sort, which I was like curious about. He clicks on it, but we don't see what happens. And then as the camera, like, and then they kiss, as the camera, like, basically the show ends, and then we pan out, and then we see someone's watching them, and then on the TV and like on the monitor, we see the notebook, and then we see that same remote that Vision is holding, that same remote that person, whoever's watching, has. So I was like, if that when we hear that click that Vision does, was it because that person on the other side like clicked something or pressed a button?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. So I thought that was really fascinating. Yeah, and then that's episode 1, and then we jump right into episode 2. It starts out there. So this is the night. I'm assuming the night of. So like just later that evening, they're already in bed, or it could be another night, whichever. And it's like funny how married couples back in the day would sleep on separate bed in the same room, but separate beds. So they're on like pretty much like twin beds, and there's like a noise like outside, and like even Vision is like frightened, like what's that? Like they're wondering like what's going on. And so Wanda uses her powers, and she opens the window or the curtain, and it's just a tree branch like banging on the window from the wind. And then
she pushed their Minecraft beds together too.
Right. And then she later changes the bed, and then they go under the covers. They're like, oh shit, wow, chicka, wow, wow.
Hey, wait. So did they have sex, or is it implied like fucking Wonder Woman?
Well, it's implied because hey, remember PG.
Because we want to make sure, because we don't want like certain people on the like netizens in the
jumping
world
Needs
to be
to be
like,
consent.
Did
Hey.
you just say netizens?
yeah, netizens. I'm saying fucking netizens.
Oh, fucking god. That fucking annoys me to hell. I fucking hate that
Yes.
word.
Hell
Only in the
yeah.
Philippines do I hear that shit. Netizens.
I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna bring it to our fold because
Bullshit.
I am not gonna call them white knights no more. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what that means.
Neither do I.
It's just
Then-
people on the internet. It's just people on the netizens.
They're citizens of the net, so they're
Oh,
netizens.
gosh.
Oh god, it's so cringy. That's cringe. That
Oh,
makes
yeah.
me cringe.
Kuya,
Hey,
you're
but
so
you know what?
old.
Huh?
Kuya, you're so old.
You're so gay though, but it's okay.
No, it's actually a word that they use in media in the Philippines on
Yep,
the
they
news.
call it netizens.
Interesting.
And
Medicines.
it annoys me to hell. I was just
Yeah.
talking to Julie about this earlier. It fucking annoys me.
It's like trolls, like our version of trolls here, basically.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
It's
Okay.
like the
That
cancel
sounds
culture people.
worse.
That's pretty much what it is.
Netizens.
I forgot to mention the intro we get is a cartoon intro, animated intro.
Yeah,
And the
this
Yeah.
time.
style
Yeah.
of was it like I Dream of
It's
More
the
of
style
the
of a Bewitched.
shit.
Bewitched?
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Bewitched.
That's where it clicked for me. Absolutely,
Yeah.
the Bewitched part.
Holy
And-
Toledo. So yeah, they're practicing the next day. They're practicing for the magic
The
show.
talent show.
So Vision is illusion, and Wanda is glamour, and so they're practicing in that box, and that how they're trying to, of course, fit in the rest of the town, and to make them seem like, of course, like they're normal, like everyone else.
It time
Um,
jumped too, if I'm correct, right? It went from like 50s to 60s.
I think so.
I think it did a little bit. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, they
As far
had
as the
that.
theme, yeah.
Okay.
And then when so they practice a little bit, and then Wanda, I think Wanda was inside the house, and she hears it sounds like a lawnmower of some sort. To me, it sounded like a lawnmower, and it catches her attention outside, so she walks outside, and then she finds this red and gold chopper, like little helicopter toy with that sword logo on it.
It's the first time we see color too in the show.
Well, no, it's not the first time we see color. We see it like in the ad in the first episode. But yeah, this
Oh, we
is
do?
in the
Yeah.
toaster, the red light on the toaster.
Oh snap! I didn't even
Right.
catch that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, in the actual show, yeah, red and gold. That's the first time we see it. And so she picks it up and she's looking at it, and then out of nowhere, Agnes pops in, and then she say, "Hey, it's the star of the show." So of course it's like, "Oh, star of your show, your own show," and so and then they walk together because they're going to the club meeting of some sort, the committee.
Yeah.
Who's organizing the town show. It's the only fundraiser for the elementary school for the children, as they like to say.
Hail Hydra.
Yeah. So, and then Dottie is of course the queen of all the housewives. So, and Agnes tells her Dottie's the key to this place. So if you get to impress her, you get to go to the country club and just watch your P's and Q's. She tells her, and then so when they're in the meeting, Wanda is talking with. She gets introduced to Geraldine, and Dottie gets irritated because like she's talking and they're talking, no one's listening, and then she's pretty much a bitch. Like even at the beginning, because that lady's talking, and she's like, "Well, we'll make sure that you don't get to chair anything. Like don't get to head up anything else." Like whoa, shit. Like
Typical privileged white bitch.
yeah, pretty much. So, and then meanwhile, Vision attends another
He's at work,
meeting
right?
for the guys, for the dad,
Yeah.
and he's trying to get in, and they're like, "Oh, this is members only," and so he's like, "Oh, I'll just sit by and when you're open for new business," and then they were like, "Oh, new business means we pass around another Danish or whatever," and so they're all doing like top secret gossip, and they're just joking around. And then it comes to Vision. He's like, "Oh, I've got a top secret." And he tells him, "Norm is a communist." And
Yeah,
then
except
they
he
all-
wasn't joking.
right. They all just laugh it off. and then they offer him gum. And earlier they ask him if he wants a Danish. He's like, well, I don't eat food. And it's like, what? Oh, I mean, I don't eat food between meals. You know?
Yeah.
And then when they offer him gum, he's like, okay, I'll
and
try it.
notice it's Big Red.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So it tied in with the communist thing. So.
It did.
Yep. So
that's why he was fucked up the whole time. He had big red gum in his throat.
See? There
Pretty
you
much.
go.
Pretty much. So yeah, he ends up swallowing the gum on accident, and you see a cartoon animation of it go down his gears, pretty much.
And it just fucked up his gears, yeah.
Pretty much.
His gears of war.
And it actually sets up precedent for everything that goes on for the rest of the show, because he starts acting all weird and funky.
Drunk.
So, and then it goes back to Wanda and the ladies. Wanda is cleaning up, and Dottie is right there. The radio is on, and they're having this conversation. And then out of nowhere, the radio is playing some music. And then out of nowhere, you hear like that sound. And then over the radio, you hear a voice. And then the voice says, Wanda, who is doing this to you? And then she just looks at it. And then Dottie even says, like, who are you? Like, what's going on? And then Dottie like crushes the glass in her hand, and it cuts her hand open, and we see her blood is red. So it's like another time we see color. So of course, red is the most prominent color we've seen so far. Is everyone dead? Do we see dead people in this show, like The Sixth Sense? So, and then we get another ad spot, which is great. The Strucker wristwatch, which by the way is available at Hot Topic for $24.99.
Does it have the Hydra symbol on it too, like in the show? I want that.
I'm hoping if there's a Hydra symbol on it, I want one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, when I saw the Hydra logo right there, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Hell yeah,
It was cool.
It was funny because like, it says Strucker and it says Switzerland, right? Or Swiss?
Yeah, made in Swiss or Switzerland.
Yeah.
Swiss. Oh, I think it said Swiss made.
Yeah, something like that. And then it says Hydra, or the Hydra symbol, then in 1,000 meters.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we go back to the talent show where everyone's there. And then of course it shows a few acts, and then it shows Wanda and Vision. So Vision is acting all funky. And he does his magic tricks, but he actually displaying his powers, his abilities. Yeah. And I love that the fact that Wanda had to like use her I love the way she uses her hand motions, really like Bewitched, almost.
Yeah,
and
like that.
She has to basically show they have to show like how they did that. Like the piano becomes just a cardboard cutout, and when he phases the hat through himself, it's just mirrors. And then the lady was like, is that how mirrors work? And Dottie's like,
shut up.
Yeah, shut up.
You're ruining it. I thought that was funny. So, but yeah. And then after that, Wanda notices that Vision is acting all funky after that. And then they go backstage, and she notices that he's got something in him. So she takes out the gum with her powers. And then he's like, would you look at that? That really gummed up my works, didn't it? But you know, the way they're doing it, Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen, I mean, the show is on, it's their show. So they're really carrying this. As far as everything that they're doing it's absolutely great. So later they get to go, before they leave, they're trying to like get away without being seen. Dottie applauds them. They thought that they were gonna get like, embarrassed or something. But Dottie applauds them and tells them that was the greatest thing we've seen.
It was hilarious.
It was the funniest thing.
Yeah. And so like later they go home, and then I think they're like making out, and then
they were about to. They kissed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They were about to grind.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I didn't notice this. I didn't seem to notice this the first time I watched it. I guess I was just really tired. But when I watched it earlier, I noticed it. Like he looks at her belly, so she's showing she's pregnant.
She's pregnant all of a sudden. Yeah.
That fast. So
he must be good.
That Android Stark Technologies is pretty
Hey,
fast.
it derived from fucking whatchamacallit? Dragon Ball and shit.
Yeah, Android 18, Android.
There
Because
you go.
fucking Krillin had a baby with a fucking
Yep.
robot. Hey,
That's
must have been
hot.
some Kriller sperm from Krillin. You know?
Yeah, I mean, good thing he didn't kill her or split her in half.
Well,
So-
she's pretty powerful. So
Oh, she would have fucking split him in
she
half.
can handle it.
Easy.
So
she can handle it.
their attention is called outside the house, and then we hear a sound, and then when they look out, the manhole cover on the street starting
Opened
to
up.
open.
Yeah,
And
this
out of-
scene was.
Out of nowhere, we get this person. This looks like a guy.
It's a beekeeper.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
beekeeper with
beekeeper.
bees comes out. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, it's a beekeeper. He looks out, and then his face, of course, is obscured. It's just dark. You don't see his face.
And then
And
and then she said no.
Yeah, she
Right?
says no. She
And then,
reverses
like, it
the
rebound.
scene. It goes back, and then they repeat with it. They kiss again, and then after
And
they
that was it.
No,
That was it.
Vision gets color on his face.
Oh yeah.
Vision gets color in his
And color
face,
gets everywhere.
and then the color spreads all around, and then as the episode ends, we hear again, "Who's doing this to you? Who's doing this to you, Wanda?" As the end credits roll.
Yeah.
So that's episode 2.
What the hell?
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really leaning against, like, this is all in her mind. And you hear the voice, like, and I really like, this has to be after Endgame. There's no way there's gonna be a prequel, because like,
Yeah,
What the hell for?
it all points to the trauma that she suffered
Right.
during the attacks, right? During the
Yeah.
Wakanda attack, and then the
right,
5 years later at Endgame. So
yeah, and
And that's where I'm going with this. Like, it feels excuse me, it feels the same way like Chris Carter did Harsh Realm as a side project for X-Files. It's the same feeling where they're doing this, because if this is a prequel, who cares? If this is a prequel and you're doing this shit, Marvel, you should be kicked in the dick. Like, you really should be, because this is ridiculous. You have a great opportunity right here. You have an amazing opportunity right here. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah, don't even bother bringing out Black Widow anymore. I mean,
Please.
I forgot
exactly.
about it. I forgot about the whole thing. I don't even care. It's just a waste of time at this point.
like, just put it out as a fucking. Why do you have a fucking like nose ring on your face?
Oh, I'm just trying out some
Jesus fucking Christ!
So as far as
Sorry, that threw me off right there. I was like, who's this moo cow in front and pretending to be Jester, man? What the fuck?
Holy shit. So as far as Black Widow, there's now word that they may debut it in theaters and on Disney Plus the same day it's out, with the premiere access. So for 30
Yay.
days.
Copycats.
So right,
Should have done that last
because-
year, you idiot.
HBO Max,
Copycats.
and Warner Brothers got all the heat when everyone was like, "Why are you doing this? You're ruining the movie industry." But when Disney,
Man,
Plus-
no, when
Continuing
right
that
when
trend
Disney.
of- when Disney does it, and
Oh, it's fucking innovative.
awesome, man. It's
It's like
groundbreaking. Oh.
it's like those fuckers that like in Apple when they innovate like a new goddamn same phone. You know what I mean? Oh,
Well,
this time with more cameras.
Hold on.
This time with more
Samsung-
cameras.
Not too long ago, Samsung made fun of Apple when Apple stopped including the power brick with a new iPhone. And now Samsung is doing the same damn thing.
course.
So y'all don't be making fun of Apple if you're gonna do
I'm
the
still
same
making
shit.
fun of Apple. When was the last fucking innovation they've ever had? Besides Apple
every
7.
time.
The iPod when it first came out.
Every
Besides
time.
the iPod and the iPhone 7. What do you mean every time? It's the same goddamn phone
No, it's
over
not.
and over
They
again.
upgraded.
They just
all
add a
upgraded.
little camera. They
So
just
you're
add
telling
one
me-
more
so you're
camera.
telling
That's
me
not
every phone-
innovation.
So you're telling
not
me every
innovation.
phone that's released.
That is not innovation,
Hold
Michael.
on. You're telling
Michael,
me every
that is not
Samsung,
innovation.
hold on. Let me speak. Every Android phone that's released, is the same damn thing too.
Yeah.
So what's the deal then?
Because like my issue is fucking Apple saying like they're the king of innovation. They haven't done any innovative things since the iPod.
What are you talking about? Face touch ID, fingerprint, thumbprint.
Fucking people had face touch ID like a long time before.
But nobody
even Apple
cared
invented
about it. Nobody
that
cared
shit.
about that shit.
Because
Until
nobody
Apple
wanted
did
their
it.
face in the goddamn files of the government and everything.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, and everyone doesn't care because they're using it.
Yeah, because they're idiots.
And I forgot what
They're
company did the
fucking
whole thing like, oh, let's connect
commercial
our
idiots.
phones and I'll switch. I'll send you a picture and let's connect our phones. That shit didn't fly, Android. Bullshit.
Let's touch our phones together and
Yeah.
Hey, it worked in Batman versus Superman, didn't it?
And
So
what?
shut the fuck up.
When
are
did
you
it
talking
work?
about?
When was that?
When the white Portuguese, you asshole. Remember that? Remember that scene?
He did not touch his phone.
Remember that scene?
He did not
Huh?
touch the phone. Did not touch. The phone was right
Yes,
next
they
to each
did. It's
other.
like it was right on top
No,
of
it
each
wasn't
other.
on
You
top.
fuck.
It was right.
It was
beside
right
each other.
Yeah, it was right on top of each other.
No, we gotta rewatch Batman v
See?
Superman now.
Oh,
Holy
you
shit.
gotta go watch it then.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna show you. Holy
All right.
shit!
Then
I just
fucking
watched
show
it the other
me,
night too.
please.
I just watched it the other night. Are you kidding me?
You guys like my
Oh,
bull ring?
shit. Huh?
No, we don't like your fucking cock
Shut
ring.
up, Kuya. I don't care what you think.
Jesus Christ, we don't care.
I don't care about your stupid conversation about this phone either.
I know. No, I'm just kidding. So, anyways, yeah,
And on
WandaVision.
that note, let's end this episode.
I know WandaVision is very curious to me. I'm very
strange.
curious. It's strange. It's something that
Is it
I
strange?
may want to invest maybe a couple more episodes in. But right now I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching? But you know, because it's Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, I'm in for now. For now. So right now their chemistry is fucking saving that shit.
Okay, well, I'll go next, I guess. I mean, so I like that it's different, and then I
Yeah.
don't like that it's different. The reason why I don't like it that it's different is because I don't feel like they're pulling it off. It's not working for me. I like Paul Bettany a lot. I think he's great for like these eras that they're going with.
Mm-hmm.
Olsen, I could care less. I mean, I think she's a good actress or actor, excuse me, but I don't really
Wow,
care.
you corrected yourself from calling her an actress to an actor, but make me my damn don't burn my toast, woman.
It was a joke, dude. I like jokes. Can I not make
Jeez.
dark jokes for crying out
No,
loud?
you cannot. That's Pinhead and Eyes' role in this thing. Right?
So let me finish. Oh my gosh. I could never finish, which I'm sure Kuya is used to hearing a lot from his wife, but you know.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Anyway,
Yeah, we'll leave it up to that. So
so for the rest of it, I mean, I like that there's enough that they're dealing out to get me to ask questions and like kind of like wonder what's going on. But I just like, what do we know how many episodes we're gonna get? Like 8 or something like that?
wasn't it 8, Mike?
I'm hearing 9, but
Is
then
it 9?
because I heard 6 hours. So if the first episode was 29 minutes, second episode is 36. You know,
Maybe the next one's gonna be 15 minutes.
Oh my gosh! You know, if that's the case, then that's okay because like I don't know, I don't know if I could do you know 6-7 more episodes of like this.
Neither can I.
But based on the pace, it seems like we're gonna get more and more of the questions answered each. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'll keep watching it, you know, because we're doing this podcast. But like, if it was just if I was just your normal viewer that wasn't gonna have to talk about it, you know, on the next day after, I'd probably wait until they all came out and then just like binge them,
watch it, yeah.
or like get halfway through it and then I'd be like, yeah, I'm done. you know, but I probably want to binge this because it's just it's odd enough to I don't know. And that's the thing, like I like what they're doing with the visuals and the camera work, because I just like that they're doing something different. I really do, and I want to applaud them for that because I'm enjoying that aspect. But there's certain things that just are not working right for me. So I don't know, man. I feel so weird about it. I feel like I have to watch some more to like really drive home what I think about it.
But
I
that's a good thing
understand.
though, Jester. Like in your sense, like you still want to give it a chance, even though you're not really buying it in that sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying is I don't think it deserves like the hardcore hatred. I mean, like wait till the season's over and then decide, you know, whether or not you really don't like it. But like I understand where people are coming from on this because it's just strange. And I think
Yeah.
it's supposed to be that way. But you know, it's like what's his name from Despicable Me, where he's like, you know, I like it, but not
Well,
really.
Gru.
I don't like it. Yeah, you know, that's how I feel. So I don't know. I'll give it to Pinhead in that.
I don't know. Doing this kind of show, you should have known better to do what you're doing, and you guys know what you're doing. We get it. So, for the average individual, this shit's not gonna cut it. This goes into the same issues I have with The Stand, and we're gonna come to the end of that here pretty soon, thank God. But this comes to the same issues I have with The Stand. If someone was to come into this normally and just this is something they want to do and they want to see, like, I don't know, casually, you're not gonna do it. So we'll see what they do with this series. Right now, I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care.
I feel ya.
The reason why I don't care is because I know what you're doing. You're doing this. Oh, when we're doing honeymooners and bewitched, I get it. I get it. I want to know what you're doing past that. And you're doing these little tiptoe to the tulips, and I know why you're doing it. It's because you're trying to promote these future movies that I don't give a shit about. I'm not giving you more money, Disney. Look into my eyes. I'm not giving you more money. Stop.
Hold up.
Stop.
You're not.
This is what this is. This is what this is. You're trying to drain me of more money, and I'm not doing it. I'd rather give Warner Brothers DC more money because you guys are unoriginal, unintelligent pieces of fuckwit garbage. I'm not giving you more money, so fuck off. No, bad Disney. No, you're not getting more money. Goodbye.
Hold up. You don't want to see Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness?
No, because you want to know why. You know why. You want to know why, Mike? And I know what you're doing, just like Disney is. You know what they're doing? They got Sam Raimi. Oh, we got Sam Raimi. You horror fans, you're gonna love it because we got the King. We got one of the cult classics to get into the. Fuck you, Disney. Fuck you. I know what you're doing. Fuck you. Fuck you. You
and you're still gonna
bastards.
bend over anyway.
You're not gonna no, bad Disney, bad. You're not gonna suck me in, you crooked bastards. No.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say,
"Hey, Disney, I'll take it back. I'll give you money when you're on demand, or it's on Disney Plus. Then I'll give you the money. I'm not going to the theater. Yeah. No, bad Disney, bad.
$6 or $7 a month. You know. $7 a month.
I'm not doing that. I know what they're doing. They're doing this shit to fucking. Well, we got Pinhead because now we got one of his cult heroes to do it. Fuck you, Disney. You're not gonna get me. You're not gonna do it. You want to know why? You can kick fucking rocks because I'm too busy worrying about real shit that I actually care about, like Dune, and maybe actually getting a new fucking Halloween this year that actually matters. Fuck you, Disney. Fuck you. No.
I'm gonna
bad
say,
Disney.
Until they buy Dune and until they buy Halloween.
then I'll just say fuck all you bitches.
Bend over.
I was gonna say proceeds. I'm gonna save this recording for when he's walking into the theater with us to go see
Black Widow.
Doctor Strange and Black Widow and all
Oh,
these
yeah.
movies.
It's not okay. Okay.
I'm gonna be like, what was that?
Okay.
What was that, Pinhead?
You want to play? You want to play? Like really? You want to play? You want to play? Because I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. I'll go on record now. So since fuckboy over here we'll make the declaration. No, I'm going on record now. I won't be in those fucking watch parties. There you go. Especially Black Widow's bitch ass. I love you. I love you, Scarlett. I love you, baby girl. But I'm not gonna give Disney money for fucking mediocre bullshit they should have done 10 years ago.
Should have been a Phase 2 movie, but that's just me. I don't know.
It's
Should have
just
been a
me
Phase 1
too.
movie. Should have been a Phase 1 movie.
Fuck 'em.
Wait, when did Iron Man 2 come out? Is it Phase 1?
That's Phase 1, yeah. Yeah.
Phase 1?
It started it.
No, at least it should have came after like Winter Soldier or something.
Yeah.
They were probably just scared of her popularity and whether or not it was.
Dude,
popular or not.
wasn't she one of the more popular people when they first came out with the Iron Man 2?
Yeah.
I don't know how everyone.
She
I
broke
mean,
out.
Like I said,
go ahead, Mike.
bad
Hold on.
Disney.
Let Mike finish.
Oh no, I mean Iron Man 2 was like her breakout. I mean, she was already an up and coming star then, but the fact that when they debuted her in
Like
Iron
for the
Man 2,
MCU, right? For
Yeah.
the MCU, the breakout was Iron Man 2.
yeah, but I think if they made the movie, the Black Widow movie after Iron Man 2, it would have made a lot. I mean, it would have made, it would have done really well.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because Mike, can we all agree? Mike, Jester, Kuya, Pinhead. As the old adage goes, you strike while the iron's hot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that.
Because they didn't try.
They struck when the iron was lukewarm after she kicked the fucking bucket.
Right.
That doesn't cut it anymore.
It's hard to care.
They didn't trust that a solo superhero movie starring a woman.
Yeah, they
With,
they waited for DC to do it. The innovators,
But,
innovators, because we keep going, and people go, oh, well, let's go down the line. They're the innovators. Everybody wanted to do stuff dark. Who did they get that from? They got it from DC.
Now everybody wants it to be dark. What the fuck, right?
Exactly. Where did they get that from? They got it from DC, who everyone they wanted to hate. No, they didn't. Did they? We can name 3 right off the bat where the trend went to. We're gonna try and do dark. Dark Knight, Watchmen.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Do we really have to go down this road? And everybody went, and they trash it. That's the problem. Like we've been down this road. We know what we want. I get it, Marvel. I know what you're doing. We get it. But bad Marvel. Not even that. Bad Disney, because Disney needs to stop getting rewarded for doing shit that people have done years ago.
Stop taking, like don't be like Apple taking credit for shit.
Actually, speaking of which, so I actually like what Kuya said also. Even after the Winter Soldier, had they made the Black movie after then, man,
It would have been fantastic.
that would have
Exactly. That was,
exactly.
and I agree. I agree.
At
It
the
would've been
latest,
perfect.
at the latest, it would have been perfect as a Phase 2 movie.
It would have been, because you would have, not only that, you would her popularity. We love her right now. We love her.
Yeah.
The only person we love more than her is Captain America at this point. So why didn't you make a movie? Well, because
Captain
That's not
Marvel
true.
didn't do so well, and now we don't want to do those ever
exactly.
again.
We want to push Captain Marvel, and because Captain Marvel, not for nothing, it's one of the best. One of the best. It's one of the first female empowering movies ever to come out. Yeah, it is. It is for overprivileged white women.
Oh, okay.
overprivileged white women. So congratulations, Marvel. You made this great banner for overprivileged white women. What about the women of color? Huh, who cares? Who cares?
If they did Captain Marvel as Monica Rambeau at the very beginning, I would have been perfectly fine with it. But no, they wanted to do the Carol, or Carol Danvers.
But
So.
but
I just
the
don't
only reason why I bring it up is because they bring it up. They bring it up every single fucking time, and every time they do it, it backfires.
Brie
And
Larson
the
never
reason why
shuts
it
up about it.
backfires, is because they worry more about that than worrying about making
A good
really
movie.
good storytelling. We've seen it already. Why does Terminator 2 Judgment Day hold the test of time? Because we had a badass fucking female who is
Lead.
well written,
Yeah.
well constructed. We could go down the line. We don't need to do this. I'm not going to go into this. We've gone down this line, and you guys go over and over and over about how great this is. It's not that great. It really isn't. That's why I say Marvel is always behind the curve, and everybody praises them for doing shit that people have done for decades.
See,
And
even
I'm
in
not
this
just
show,
talking about DC. I'm talking about people in Japan. Like Kuya, you know what we know what I'm talking about. I'm done. Like they're behind the curve, and they're innovators. Really,
It's
I'm
just
tired of this shit.
it's like how relationships are, and like it's not really official unless it's Facebook official. So if Marvel if Marvel or if Marvel or Disney didn't put a stamp on it, that means that it ain't innovative enough. You know what I'm talking about? Like like for example, Chronicle. You guys seen Chronicle, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
to be honest with you, that's one of my favorite superhero movies. Just
It was well
because
done.
it wasn't dark. It was dark enough, right?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was dark.
It was okay. Like it was just like, again, it's just kids figuring it out that they have superpowers, and the shenanigans that they're going to try to do, and then the repercussions of what they're doing.
Who cares if it was dark? We can all agree it was a great movie.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, it
right.
was
And
good.
like I love like even the little fucking weak ass ending at the very end. Like for me, it was kind of weak just because of the fact that, like, oh,
No, it was. You're right.
I wanted more, because I wanted to see the development of these characters,
Yeah.
because it was the what the fuck is that kid's name? But like the guy that turned into the bad guy, he was amazing, and he became a bad guy all because he was he just misunderstood, and he was abused when he was like growing up and shit.
Dane
So
DeHaan.
yeah.
Dane DeHaan, and he has a
AKA
huge career now.
Yeah, Harry Osborn from Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
One, yeah.
He didn't do good in that one.
Like for me, the innovation was there because like the story was there, and it was amazing. And then now, like, you come out with like Netflix movies and Disney movies of these little teeny boppers with kitty powers and shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I've seen it better by watching Chronicle. You know what I'm talking about? And then like, that's why like for me, there's only a limit, like a happy few of MCU movies that I absolutely adore. And adore by means that I can sit down and watch it with my wife or with my family, and I won't have any issues uh talking about the movie, because there's I have big issues that I have when it comes to certain MCU movies. But
And
like
see,
when I see like certain movies that I love, like for example, my absolute favorite, and you guys know this, Winter Soldier is by far my favorite fucking MCU movie, just because of the fact the way they told the story was amazing to me. It's a little boring for people because it's a little talky,
I
right?
enjoyed it.
It's not an MCU movie, like it's not one of them bang bang whatever.
The
Right,
elevator
whatever.
scene wasn't. Are you serious?
Well, some people think it's boring. Like for me,
Idiots.
there
for,
are,
Where
and
are
for
these
me,
assholes? What
Yeah,
no,
seriously.
for me, Jester, like if you take out the super element, right? If you take out the super element of Winter Soldier, if it was just like a regular spy ass movie, like just like some agent who got training and trained to kick ass and all that shit.
Yeah, it was a good story, standalone story.
Yeah, standalone, right?
Yeah.
For me that was great, and that's how I see all of these superhero movies. And like I see the connections between them, and I
Yeah.
understand, but like for people to fucking focus on the connections,
Right.
and for me that I took issues with that. That's why I said if you wanna talk about connections, how about connecting that? Again, I'm gonna beat the fucking dead horse. Ragnarok.
That poor
And,
horse.
and then and then like the next fucking movie is gonna be Captain Marvel, and then the next movie is Endgame. That's not a good connection to me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And
yeah.
that
So
and
and
that
and
and
that's my biggest issue with Ragnarok as a whole. As a movie, I'm okay. Like I said, like I told you guys before, it like the way visually it was great. The way they did their story is great. Is it Ragnarok for me? No. Is it a good movie for me? I didn't like it. You guys may have been entertained. Some people think it's like one of the best MCU movies ever, which is fine. Like that's their opinion on the matter. But again, this is the issue that me as a moviegoer, as a fan of comics, cartoons, anime, all of these movies, anything visual. My issue with the MCU and Disney is it's the same fucking thing over and over. Like tell me a different story.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm liking this show that we're getting. At least it's different. And
Yeah,
know
it's
what I mean?
different.
Like,
Yeah, again, like do I like it right now as a whole? No.
Yeah.
Like,
No. Yeah. Same.
It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird,
But it's
but
different.
then
It's different.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm giving it a chance. Like
Yeah.
when until that chance is taken away from me, then I'll tell everybody how I really feel about it. But right now, I'm I love the chemistry between with Elizabeth and Paul.
ladies and gentlemen, just so we get this on the record right now, this is the first episode where Kuya and Jester actually agreed.
Jesus Christ.
100%. I mean 100% where they actually agreed.
I'm gonna have to,
Put
I'm gonna have
that
to
on
leave.
record. Thank you.
Wait. Is there another like?
No.
I think there was.
I think there was that episode of The Mandalorian.
No,
where
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think the Mandalorian with Bill Burr, right?
Yeah. We really love that one.
Yeah. All right.
But-
so go ahead.
No, I wanted to hear your opinion on the show.
Thank you.
overall.
Yeah, I've been wanting
But thank you,
Yeah.
you, Pinhead. Thank you for the compliment.
To wrap it up, you know what I mean? I wanted to hear
Yeah,
what
so-
you have to say.
I really like the show. I think it's fascinating and it's interesting. I like what they're setting up. That's the thing that bugs me is like some people were like, "Oh, it sucks." It's a fucking series. It just started. Like really? Like if you're a Marvel fan, and I'll admit I like what Marvel's doing. I don't necessarily like everything they're doing, but there's things here and there that I don't like. But for the most part, I enjoy all of them. I'm enjoying this. It's different in the sense that we're getting. It's not all action and explosions and like oh, this is connected to this like right away. It's connected to a larger universe. Yes, we're gonna find that out, but they're doing it intentionally with the themes that they're showing and everything that the Easter eggs that they planted in these first two episodes alone. So I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it and how it unfolds and how it fits into the larger universe. So yeah, it's something to look forward to. And speaking of another movie that I absolutely love, and we were discussing and arguing about earlier, Kuya said,
were you correct, Mike?
Of course, I'm fucking correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that.
And I'd like to show video proof right here, HBO Max, HBO fucking Max, because I remember if Bruce Wayne put his phone over the bad guy's phone, that would have been the bad guy would have been like, "What the fuck, bro? Why is your phone on my phone?" And in today's pandemic world, it'd be like, "You're fucking germs, bro." Like, so the phone is inches away. It's inches away from his phone. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's how the NFC works in,
Yeah, see?
in
There you go.
Androids.
There you go. Just beside each other, not on
Yeah.
top. Just beside each other.
Well, no, he took his phone already.
Yeah, but he didn't put it on top of it, like missionary style.
That's hot.
It was right beside it.
It's kind of hot though.
It is kind of hot. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but like Mike, like I think the issue there, what you're looking at right now when it comes to WandaVision is what a typical MCU person would think. But then like they're so used to like being fucking baby fed all these little knickknacks and little tidbits and shit like that. That's why it's throwing them off. That's why they think it sucks.
What's happening? This is
Right, because they have no idea. They have no idea what the hell's going on right now. Because everybody's like quiet about it. Because there's no like it just reminds me of the fucking time in the comic book. Like like when they were talking about like the Avengers when they first came out. Like I knew it was the Chitauri invasion at the very beginning, like when it first came out. And I was like, oh, like how the fuck is Loki gonna have his own army? I'm like, no, he's gonna grab the Chitauri. We're like, who the fuck are the Chitauri? And then it's like in the 80s they had War of the Worlds, and it came Asgard came to the rescue of New York. Also, the Chitauri was the main bad villains.
Did you see that deleted scene with Rocket? Huh? Did you see that deleted scene with Rocket from Endgame where he's talking about the Chitauri?
Yeah.
And how they're like the worst army in the galaxy. He's like, you guys couldn't handle those guys. They were horrible. And I don't know why they didn't keep that in the movie. They should have kept that in.
No, but like it was hilarious. Again, because they talk so much shit because the Chitauri did suck.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, you guys had a fucking hard time. Like it took 5 of you guys or 6 of you guys to do that.
Why did you just blow the mothership?
Yeah, that's what he said. That's right. Yeah,
we didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, because fucking, and then like it took one Kryptonian to destroy like a fucking, to save the world, and all that shit.
Oh yeah, that meme.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, that was quite a fun and entertaining recap of WandaVision episodes 1 and 2.
Longer than we thought. Much longer than we thought.
Yeah, exactly what I thought. What are you guys talking about?
Oh yeah, sure, Mr. TikTok.
If our first episode,
I'm sorry, didn't I say at work we could get an hour? But and you're like, no, I don't think so.
If our first episode talking about a new show doesn't last like this time, then it's the fucking shittiest show ever fucking made because we wouldn't be wasting our time with it.
Yeah,
right.
For real.
That's why I did a rewatch earlier and I took more notes and I realized like, hey, there's actually more stuff here that I missed out on the first time.
I guess we'll be back for the third installment,
huh?
Oh. Alrighty, well,
Peninsula's gonna be like, no comment. I'm done.
So yeah, if you guys are listening, if you could please follow us on Spotify, if you are not doing so just yet, and you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please feel free to write a review, because it does actually help when we get reviews there. It's the algorithm. The show will be shown to more, like it'll get more people's attention to check out the show.
Please be innovative and use your Apple fucking phones and do a review about how awesome we are.
Yeah, those kids worked really hard on those phones. You please rate our show.
Yeah. So just other Apple geniuses would want us to be in their phones as a podcast
and in their pockets.
And in their pockets, yeah, exactly. So please
rate us.
We only have 1 review so far, and
hey, it's 5 out of 5, right? That's amazing. So
yeah, we still have 6. We still have 6 ratings, 5 out of 5. But the more ratings we get and the more reviews, it'll help the algorithm, and so it'll also show the show will be like other people will be able to see it more, I guess, on the Apple Podcast app. So that would be cool.
I gotcha.
But yeah, alrighty. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back for episode 3 next week. for WandaVision.
Yeah, baby. Bye bye.
Alrighty.